Hi, I'm David Penn, research analyst with Finovate. Thanks for joining us with our Finovate West Digital 25 and 5 Rapid Fire Interview Series. Thank you very much for joining us today. Our guest is Srinivas Injay of Interface. Srinivas, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, David. It was a pleasure joining you.
Fantastic. Now, before we begin the 25 and 5, I thought maybe you could tell us just a little bit about yourself and Interface.
Yeah, so I actually come from a banking family where I had first-hand experience looking at what it takes to scale a bank to billions of dollars in asset. I also spent over a decade in AI research since from my master's all the way through my work at Microsoft. At Interface, I'm the CEO and the founder. Interface is one of the leading market-leading provider of intelligent virtual assistant. What we mean by that in simple terms is we build something like Apple Siri or Amazon Alexa, but for call centers and other channels.
Oh, interesting, interesting. Well, again, I want to remind everyone that you're going to be able to have an opportunity to take a look at Interface and the work that you do here at the show. We're going to have curated booths, so folks will have a great opportunity to hear you talk with one of our analysts, as well as to ask questions themselves. So I hope folks definitely spend some time getting to know more about Interface. Are you ready to get started?
Yes, let's do
let's
this.
go. 25 and 5, rapid fire. Number 1, what gets you more excited, artificial intelligence or open banking?
Definitely AI.
Yeah.
Start with the easy one.
Here, number 2, your favorite technology company outside of fintech?
I would say Documentum, the company which actually it's kind of spun out of Xerox, and Jeff Miller took it over. And since he started, they were like flattening, about $2 million revenue. And one of the CEO, Jeff Miller, took it over. In 4 years, they went to IPO. The interesting story is they actually only focused on first segment of the market, which has just 40 accounts.
Really? Interesting.
Yes, it's one of the Harvard case studies and things like that. It's a pretty fantastic journey.
Oh, interesting one. I haven't heard about that. Here's another one. Do you use a robo-advisor for your own personal investing?
Oh, great. So not until they help me manage my investment in my company. So no, not yet.
Oh, good, good. All right. Challenger banking, yay, nay, or yawn?
I think it is yawn right now because I think only with the people with distribution scale can do it because the cost of acquisition is really high. We're still yet to figure out how a new company can figure that out, I feel.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a huge challenge. What's your favorite season of the year?
Fall, colorful, and my wife's favorite season. So that's I don't get to have another one.
Fall's a great one. What's your favorite mode of public transportation?
I think all of them are inefficient, to be honest. I'm pretty excited about the intersection of brain-computer interface and VR. So with a click of a button, we can travel anywhere. I think that's the most efficient way of traveling. Traveling, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for the efficiency. What's the best city for technology startups that nobody knows about?
Right now, I think it's your home. Right, so with everything remote, I think it's startup is a mindset. It's not about location. I think you should get started at home.
Oh, very good. What's your favorite dessert or after dinner treat?
I think I would say my favorite one is the souffle cake at California Pizza Kitchen.
Uh,
So yeah, I just love it. Belgium souffle cake. If you guys are not tried it, you should.
all right, we got a recommendation going.
Yeah.
State your most unpopular or controversial technology opinion.
That a startup can bootstrap to IPO,
Hmm,
right?
interesting.
So very much possible.
Okay. If you weren't involved in fintech, what do you think you'd be doing?
Um, Solving the travel efficiency problem with the BCI and VR. I'm really excited about that.
I love it. I love it. What's the best advice on any topic that you've gotten this year?
Um, Best advice is, kind of trying to live more sustainably, right? I think I've been reading a lot. I think we all have to do that.
Sure,
Right?
sure.
Yeah.
Very good one. If it's time to relax, do you want to pick up a book, listen to some music, or catch a podcast?
All of them make me think too much, so it's time with the family.
Ah, okay. Very good. Very good. Let's see. Do you own a smartwatch?
No, my wife didn't let me have one. You're already distracted. You don't need more distractions. Yeah.
Phone is bad enough.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sport or recreational activity?
I play squash quite a bit, so I
Gosh.
enjoy. Yeah.
Oh, that's a serious activity. Do you own more in digital assets like Bitcoin or more in precious metals like gold and silver?
Actually, no, none of them actually.
Let's see. What's your favorite vacation spot or getaway?
Japan. Um, so I was reading this book called Shoe Dog from the founders of Nike.
Hmm.
He talks a lot about Japan and all. It's been my favorite place to go after that.
Very interesting. I've only been to the airport, but I would love to visit Japan more.
Yeah.
Let's see. Which fintech news is more likely to get your attention, as a headline say? A big IPO, a big merger acquisition, or a big venture capital funding?
I already gave you a clue. A big IPO.
Let's see. Here's an interesting one. As a child, what got you more excited growing up? The first day of school or the last day of school?
Absolutely, last day of school. There's so much to learn if you have the time back to yourself, right? So,
Interesting perspective. Interesting
yeah.
perspective. What would you say is most unique about your company's technology?
That the system, the AI has ability to understand some of the things you ask without it being trained with exact same thing, right? What we call is, data is overrated in AI. So people talk about like a lot of data is required to train, but we fundamentally flip the switch by launching a technology called zero-shot learning. Our system has ability to understand questions that it has never seen in the past.
Very good. And you mentioned call centers. Would you say they're your primary customers?
So no, we actually work directly with the banks and credit unions,
Okay.
trying to transform their, call center being a cost center to more of a revenue center with AI,
I see.
automation, and all of that.
Okay, excellent. And what would you say is the most important thing about building a strong team?
I think you have to pick a team who's already frustrated about the status quo, right? And then want to join someone to make a difference, right? So I think there's in banking there's quite a lot of status quo that you could be frustrated about, right?
Sure.
So we like to look for that frustration as a motivation, so that you want to apply to do something good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent, excellent. So where do you see your company, say, 2 to 3 years from now?
I think we would have accelerated and reached a point where interface would have become a critical infrastructure for banks who transition from digital bank to an intelligent banking, right? There is a transformation that's already in place. Not a lot of us realize, which is it's digital banking to intelligent banking. I think interface is going to be a critical piece of infrastructure in that new world.
Great. What's the one piece of personal technology that you can't deal without?
I would say Zoom right now. So otherwise I'll be left alone at home, I guess. So Zoom.
Excellent pick. What are you looking forward to most once the COVID crisis has passed us?
Stop using Zoom. so, so yeah, I'm fed up with it. As much as we need it, yeah, I like going and meeting people.
I hear you. I hear you. And last but not least, what's your favorite thing about being a part of Finovate this year?
I think get to learn and share, otherwise which you would be left behind, right? So that's the most exciting part for me for Finovate, just to understand what's going on and make sure you as a bank or a fintech, you're on par with what's already happening in the industry.
Fantastic,
So you're
fantastic.
not
Well,
left behind.
that's our 25th question. Thank you very much for
Oh, is
joining us.
that it? That
Yeah,
was easy,
why
David.
is that fast? But definitely really appreciated your participating in our 25 and 5, and I look forward to catching up with you next week.
Thanks, David. Talk to you soon.
You
Good
bet.
luck
Take
for the
care.
event.
Mhm.
Bye.